Are they already in Chicago?
The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did
spider web
was it
tights.
Obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was
It was
having
a terrible
fun.
wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM. Catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and the TuneIn app.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
KXVS on the voice of Stockton presents Lions We Serve Live with your host, Connie O'Day.
Hello, everyone. This is Lion Connie O'Day, and I'm so glad you're with us this afternoon. I have a very special guest here with me today, Heather Buzo, and we will be talking with her very shortly about the fantastic program that she has at the Lord's Gym City Center, right?
Right, yes.
Okay. But first of all, I want to tell you about some of the things that are happening here in District 4A1 this week. Actually, tomorrow, Upcountry 88 Lions Club up in Sutter Creek are having their annual steak feed and raffle. That's tomorrow night. At 5 p.m. is a no-host bar. 6 p.m. that starts the dinner. And it's only a $25 donation. They're going to have, let's see here, they're going to have baked beans, barbecue steak, green salad, bread, potato salad, and dessert. There's going to be a grand door prize and also a lot of raffles. It's going to be at the American Legion Hall at 11401 American Legion Drive in Sutter Creek. So all of you up there in the mountain area, be sure you go to this dinner tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun, great food, great prizes. So, and I also want to tell you that this weekend on Saturday, my club, Stockton San Joaquin Lions, we celebrated our 60th anniversary. And we were chartered in 1958 with 58 members at that time. And this Saturday we had a lovely dinner, and former Lions, current Lions, district governor, past district governors, and other Lions were there, and it was a wonderful, wonderful celebration. So I want to tell all of my Lion friends out there, we did 60 years already here in Stockton, California. And the other thing I want to go to is, you know, Student Speaker Contest is coming up. We're all ending the Peace Poster Contest at this time, and we will be judging the final, I believe it's in November. We will be judging posters at our district meeting, and that meeting is going to be November 2nd and November 3rd, and it's going to be in Oakdale, California. And Friday night, it's going to be at the Gladys Lemons Senior Center, 450 East A Street in Oakdale. And Saturday is going to be a great day of wonderful information from all the different chair people of the different projects that we're doing here in District 4A1. And we're going to be focusing on membership and diabetes. And these are two very, very important subjects. And we're going to be having breakouts about membership, how you grow your membership, how to retain your membership. And then we're also going to have a workshop on diabetes, which is, especially with youth, that's one of the areas that International really wants us to look at, is the diabetes issues in our countries. And so that is going to be the district meeting for 4A1, November 2nd and the 3rd of November. And I started to talk to you about the student speaker contest. If you haven't got your packet yet, you're going to have to send a check to get the packet for $25 as of October 1. But we want to make sure that all the clubs have finished your student speaker contest at the club level. That has to be finished by Monday, February 25th, 2019. So that's coming up, and I hope you will be participating in this wonderful, wonderful contest. And this year's theme, this is a great one, especially the way our media is doing today. The theme is freedom of the press. What does it mean? So all of you out there, when you go and talk to the students at your schools, ask them to talk about that, freedom of the press. I think that a lot of information has been coming out about fake media, fake stories, good stories, bad stories, freedom of the press, so forth. It's a wonderful subject. So I hope you're all going to participate with this in your clubs. And like I said, your club level has to be finished by February 25th. Okay? And the Peace Poster Contest is coming to an end. And in fact, I have 4 schools participating this year. And really, really proud of those schools. Here in Stockton, California, we have Elmwood Elementary, and we have Victory Elementary School, plus their special ed department. And we have St. Luke's Catholic Elementary School and Delta Sierra Middle School. All 4 are participating, and that is exciting to have so many students participating. And what is really wonderful is the theme. For those of you who don't know what the theme is Kindness Matters. Now, at one school, Delta Sierra Middle School, the principal has ordered T-shirts. Next week, I'll bring you the T-shirt and show it to you. He was on my show a week or so ago, and the T-shirts say in beautiful colors, Kindness Matters. Now, this school has been using the theme of kindness for, this is the second year they've really been emphasizing kindness, and it's made a big change in the school. It's deteriorated a lot of what goes on in schools, what we call bullying. And so he has ordered these T-shirts, and all of the faculty and volunteers are going to be wearing these T-shirts every Friday. And they're also going to be opening up a student store. And in the student store, the students can buy the T-shirts and their parents can buy the T-shirts. But it was so amazing that he used our theme, Kindness Matters, for these shirts. And that's very exciting to see what our Peace Poster Contest themes can do at all the different schools. And then another school, Elmwood Elementary School, they are also a certified kindness school. Even before this theme came out, they have been following a program that consists of 15 different things that individual students, classrooms, or the whole school completes all of these kindness projects. And if they've completed it, then they get certified as a kindness school. So when I went and talked to the principal at Elmwood Elementary and told him, hey, it's time for the Peace Poster Contest again. Last year I had 78 entries for the Peace Poster Contest from Elmwood Elementary School. I don't know how many I got this year, but I'm sure I'm going to have plenty. But I walked into the lobby to go into the office to talk with the principal. And here on the top of the wall was the words in about 2.5 feet high letters, kindness, and just all these different circular posters that students had already been making that represented to them kindness. It was so exciting to see the schools really emphasizing kindness is so important for the children to have good relationships, the teachers to have good relationships, to stop bullying, and to develop self-esteem. So I'm really thrilled about this particular theme this year, and I hope that some of you out there, also in your clubs, are participating in the poster contest. Now, for some international information, you know the New Year's Eve is just about around the corner. This is the time of the year. Here comes Thanksgiving, here comes Christmas, here comes New Year's Eve. Well, New Year's Day is the Rose Parade. And many of you already know that every year the Lions International has a float in the parade. International pays for most of the float to be made, and then the rest of the money comes from donations from all the clubs all over the world. So I hope that you will participate in donating for the Rose Parade. This year, the theme is preserving our environment. Now, the Lions Float, if you go to Lions International, to the Rose Float website, you will see a picture of the float. It's 35 feet long, and it's going to depict Leos. Now, you know, Leos are the teenagers at the high schools that form the Leos Lions Club. And it depicts lions planting trees and overseeing the preservation of a historical landmark. And there's also going to be an animated water wheel. So this is going to be a very, very special float. And in 1992 was the first float that the Lions International had in the Rose Parade in 1992. And we have continued ever since then to have a float in the parade. Now, I had the opportunity about 3 years ago to go to the Rose Parade with some other Lions, and we signed up to do volunteer putting the float together. So I worked a whole shift working on our float, got to go into the rose room where the millions of roses and other flowers are, saw how other floats were made, and there actually is 2 warehouses, and all the floats are made in these warehouses. So I was sitting, taking little petals off of flowers, because every little thing has to be put on separately. So that was very exciting, and also the next day I had tickets and was able to sit in the bleachers and watch the parade. So if you have an opportunity to go to Pasadena, you can sign up now on the website there at International for the Rose Parade float, and you can sign up for a shift and get your hotel room, or if you live in the area, you're very fortunate. So you can just go over and work on the float and see the parade. It's absolutely marvelous. So that's a big thing that's coming up, and I hope all of your clubs out there will be participating in raising money for the float. And if you want the current Rose Parade sweatshirt or T-shirt or polo shirt or hat and all the other wonderful merchandise that And now we have another thing coming up in 2019. It's the Lions Leadership Institute. This is going to be in Santa Rosa, California, actually at 4539 Occidental Road in Santa Rosa. And this Leadership Institute is open to the first 40 Lions who register by December 31st. So I would really recommend that if you want to get the information about being a leader, a volunteer leader, and going to the Institute, I would get in touch with them right away. You can go to the website and at the international or MD4 website, excuse me, and the registration is there also. Then we and if you want to share some of your experiences, my Lions Club website for our Facebook page is going across the bottom of the screen. And please send your pictures for us and share them with us, okay? And now I would like to introduce to you my wonderful guest today. And this young lady, her name is Heather Buzo. And Heather, I want to thank you for being here with us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And you're so welcome. And Heather is the executive director for a wonderful program that is for youth between the ages of 13 and 17 years old, high school students. Mm-hmm. And I want you to start telling us about your program. It's called
It's called Vision.
It's called Vision.
Yes.
And you're in partnership with the Community Partnership for Families of San Joaquin.
That's correct.
Now, I want you to tell us all about the program.
Of course.
And all the wonderful things that are happening with the youth. And I'll ask you some questions as we go along because, like I told you before, I've worked with at-risk And actually, this program is at Lord's Gym.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Center City, is that?
The city center, so it's much smaller to say.
And it is a very wonderful gym. So
thank you.
Please tell us about the program.
Of course. Well, first, the city center opened this year. So we are just 9 months new to the community, but our building used to be the former Copeland's building. So it's at dormant for
yes, I know that.
For almost 13 years.
Yes,
and our founders would drive by it every single day and knew that they needed to have that building for the community. And so after opening in January, we quickly realized that there was a need for underserved teens, particularly that 13 to 17-year-old range. And I would say about 4 months in, we had over 1,000 teens signed up.
Oh, wonderful.
Now,
and where were these kids from? Where were the teens from?
All around the San Joaquin County. Not one particular zip code, not just from Stockton. We have kids from Lodi, Manteca, Tracy, Modesto that are coming to the center, and they've been referred by their friends.
And it's not that they're coming from a specific school.
No.
You're not reaching out at the school. You're reaching out to the kids.
To
so
the
they're
kids
coming
themselves.
It's not a school thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, not a school thing at all. And as we really started to get to know them, we make sure that every teen who has a membership does not have to pay for it. So their membership is being sponsored by community members like you. Once they arrive, they're given, or they're we partner with CPFSJ, and we're
what is that now?
Community Partnership for Families.
And that's here in San Joaquin County.
Correct. Yes,
that's
here in
San Joaquin County, California.
Yes.
I have to emphasize where things are because we're talking to people in all over the world because we're live streaming on YouTube. So I always have to say where we're at.
Yeah. So yes, CPFSJ is a local organization here in San Joaquin County, so they don't just service Stockton either. But through that partnership, we're able to administer a resiliency test to every teen who signs up at the city center. And through that test, we're able to learn lots of things about our kids.
Now, what is this test, and what are some of the questions?
So some of the questions are what they identify their gender to be, how they handle conflict, their relationships with their caregivers. It is 100% 100% optional. They are not forced to take it when they sign up. It's just something to help us get to know who our kids are and what resources we need to provide to them.
Now, do you have, I know you're the executive director, do you have any like case managers that students are assigned to?
So through our partnership with Community Partners, is working remote out of our site. Okay. And he is a case manager. So when we learn certain things about our kids, we will refer them to him. And then from there, he gets to work with them and do what he does best. So as an organization who does work with kids, there's no sense in my team recreating the wheel if I can partner with an organization who is already doing that kind of work.
So give me an example of some of the things that you work with the kids on.
So through this test, we have learned that conflict is sometimes an issue, school is an issue. So back to our group vision, we encourage every single teen at the City Center to attend this group. It's about 2 hours, and we started off with their highs and their lows. They get to tell us the best part about their day. They get to tell us the worst part about their day. And then we go into different programming, different icebreakers. The idea of the group is really to get the kids out of their shell, to lighten up a little bit, to meet new friends, to ask questions. And we have had conversations go from, the day being great to school shootings to suicide. The conversations have kind of been all across the board, and the room, it's a safe place. It's a safe place for them to open up. It's a safe place for them to talk about things, and in turn they get to realize that they're not the only ones going through whatever that challenge is. There might be another kid.
Heather, when you have these groups, about how many students or teens are in these groups at one time?
It ranges. Sometimes it depends on the time of year. It could be, as little as 20. It could be as many as 40 or 50. It really just depends. We have narrowed the groups down to Mondays are our Motivation Mondays, where we get to talk about things that motivate them. Tuesdays are our day to keep them healthy. So we have a full functioning state-of-the-art gym inside of our facility, and we're able to keep the kids active.
So the teens then use the gym themselves.
Correct.
Do you have a trainer or somebody that works with them to make sure that they're doing the right type of exercise for their bodies and abilities and so forth?
Yes. So majority of the time it's a group exercise. Sometimes we even have fun and we'll do a dodgeball tournament, things to just keep them active. A majority of the time kids are stuck in front of a TV screen playing video games. So we want to get them active, even if it's just for an hour a week. It's something fun that they can all do together.
Now, one of the things that really impressed me when you were giving us, who came to your place, to Lord's Gym, and you were showing us around, you have a very large basketball court.
Yes.
And you have an area where the students can sit and maybe just talk or rest, and also a place where they can play video games. Okay.
Yes. So
now, are your video games kind of censored to get away from the really mean, hateful type of games where there's a lot of killing and shooting and so forth?
Yes. We certainly censor the video games. We censor the language. It's hard when you have a lot of kids, when you have 300 kids in there. We certainly do our best to make sure that they're on their best behavior.
There seems to be a couple of words that students are using today that, oh my goodness.
Yes.
And it's just like they're just talking regularly and they just use this horrible words, and that's good.
Yes.
That's good that you are monitoring the language.
Yes, it's important, especially in front of staff. We have our adult power partners, who are those that donate their time and volunteer. Want to take the fun out of coming to the city center, but we also make sure that they understand, we're here, we love them, but there are certain rules that they need to abide by, and watching their language is certainly one of them.
Now, do you have a hard time with the teens at the beginning to follow the rules?
That we've had to unfortunately kick out, but I would say for the most part, the kids respect the facility. They truly, I think, enjoy it. I grew up in Stockton. I remember having hammer skate and mini golf, and there were things to do as a teen, and there's not anymore. And so a facility like ours is very much needed. And I think they understand that. They choose to go there. They choose to do homework there. They choose to meet new friends there. We provide outlets for them to have field trips. We took 37 kids to Del Oso Farms last week. We're having a Thanksgiving dinner next month and a Christmas party in December. So we're trying to expose them to experiences that they might not be accustomed to. And in turn, just showing them that, again, we love them. We're there for them. If they have any questions or need any sort of help, that we can at least point them in the right direction.
Now, what is the average age?
14.
14 is the average age.
14 and then 17.
Okay. And do you get equal amount of girls or boys?
No, certainly more boys. I think that's because a lot of our programming, especially at the beginning, was sports related. We have a basketball court, we have an indoor track, we have video games, and there was a lot for the boys to do. We recently started a girls group where we get to learn things that they wish they knew, like how to cook and how to set a table. And I think through that group, they will recruit more girls to come and be a part of what we're doing there. We even have a leadership council that has both girls and boys to help with that balance a little bit.
So I'm very interested in the leadership aspect. So in your leadership group, okay, can you tell me and tell our viewers what you're actually teaching them about leadership?
So it's twofold. One, through, again, our partnership with Community Partnership for Families, they have a leadership curriculum that already exists that they know works. And so Tony, who is our facilitator that works for them, he leads our council, and they meet every Thursday. And through these meetings, they not only get to learn how to write their own personal statements, but kind of team back to your speech that you guys are having, your fun competition.
Right.
We're teaching the kids how to get up and publicly speak and not be ashamed of their story and to learn through some of those mistakes. And in turn, they're responsible for holding their peers accountable. They're responsible for leading by example at the city center, in their communities, at school. And the best part is that the teens in the center hold them accountable. When they do something they maybe shouldn't do, you'll have another kid that says, aren't you supposed to be a leader? Are you supposed to be doing that? And so their peers are holding them accountable too.
Oh, that's good.
But it gives them a little ownership. We get to rely on them. They're kind of our ears on the ground. And I think it's good for them to know that they have some sort of responsibility and what being a leader means.
Right.
People do look up to you and people are going to hold you accountable. And so it's been I think we're now in month 3, so they will be planning an open house. The City Center is also a Friday Night Live chapter, and so we're working on building a fun documentary as part of that with our leadership council.
Now, what do you mean developing a
documentary? So they have picked a topic, and through this topic, they are going to address it, build a documentary, talk about themselves, their lives. And in turn...
And is this being filmed?
It is,
oh,
yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, so when it's available, we will certainly share it. They're in just the beginning stages, but it was their choice to be a part of. And again, perks of being on the Leadership Council is being a part of videos like that.
Fantastic. Now, you talked about getting volunteers.
Yes.
Okay, now that's where the Lions come in, because we are volunteers. All of us. And so can you tell our viewers today what you're looking for with volunteers?
Absolutely. So our volunteer program is a little different. It's called our Power Partner Program.
Power Partner
Program.
I have to write that down.
Yes. So we refer to those who are donating their time as Power Partners. And the reason we use the word partner instead of volunteering is because you're doing so much more than just giving your time. You are partnering with us to help make our mission a reality. We're there to build strength for our kids and help ignite possibilities for them. But at the end of the day, we exist to keep them off the street. And we certainly can't do that alone. So we rely on Power Partners to partner with us in our various programs to be able to do that.
So the volunteer, can you, or the partner, can you tell us what exactly they would be doing?
Absolutely. So we
give an example of
so we have for example, right now we have a basketball league. It is a free basketball league to our kids as part of their membership, but we need coaches and we need refs and we need individuals who are going to help teach our kids. If you have basketball or you love basketball and are passionate about it, we are encouraging community members to be a part of that particular element. We also have study hall on Wednesdays, and we know our kids need help in English, Spanish, math, and science. So if anybody has any sort of knowledge of maybe they were teachers or tutors at one point, we really need help with kids. Believe it or not, algebra I didn't think was so hard until I was out of it for so long.
Algebra. Oh my gosh, that was oh my goodness. So talking about algebra, oh my gosh, when I was finishing my degree, I had only had 1 year of algebra in high school. Because I was doing other things. I was in music and in business and all kinds of other things. So when I'm at the community college, I wanted to take my algebra or mathematics requirement. I had to take 3 semesters of high school algebra, pass them to get into the college algebra.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
And I'll tell you what, the teenagers should start math every single year while they're in school and
Absolutely.
just continue with the math because it's so important.
Well, and we're dealing with 13 to seniors in high school,
Right.
so we have anything from algebra to statistics. And so the help that we need within those we need algebra 1, algebra 2, we need statistics. We sometimes, English, the same thing. Our kids are having a really hard time writing. They're so used to texting and they're on their phones, but getting them
And they're
to
not
actually
teaching. They're not teaching writing. They're only teaching printing now in most schools. They are not doing cursive writing.
Well, and outside of that, it kind of stems from the home life too. They're not held accountable at home to do homework, and
I
so
know.
we encourage them, bring your homework to the city center. We have the games, we have the pool tables, the air hockey, the foosball, but we want to make sure that they're successful in school as well. But volunteers and our power partners who can help volunteer their time to tutor our kids is a huge need. We know, especially we're at that point in the school year where you're far enough in to know how you're doing because the semester is almost up, and we've got some kids who know that they're failing or they're not going to pass, and so they're coming in with their homework and asking questions. And so now more than ever, we really do need individuals in our community to be willing to partner with us to help our kids so that we can help them grow. If they have less than a 2.0, we want to get them to that 2.0 spot and then kind of push them along. But the idea is growth, and we want them to know that people do care about them, and that's what the city center is all about, is getting the kids in our community to understand that there are people here that want them to succeed, and they can find them at the city center.
So, who are you partnering with now? Are you with any other organizations?
Yes, so we partner. Community Partnership for Families is one at our core, but we also partner with the Women's Center to be a safe place. So we are
Which center?
The Women's Center.
Women's Center.
Here in Stockton.
Oh, I don't even know where that is.
Women's Center Youth and Family Services, I believe. They're they're close to downtown, but we partner with them to be a safe place, which means anyone can come into our facility, adult or youth, whether they're involved in any sort of human trafficking, with any gangs. They can come to one of our staff members and say that they need a safe place, and our team is being trained on what to do, where to hold this particular community member, who to call, and then how to get them the right help.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
so you do a lot
really
of
great.
referral also.
That is our goal. We have, like I said, we have nearly 1,800 teens, and we do not want to recreate the wheel if something already exists in town. So as we start to look at our 17-year-olds who are looking into college, there's no need for us to necessarily create a scholarship program when we can partner with Stockton Scholars, who has the funding and is, and needs the teens, and we have kids who are looking to go to school. So anytime that we can partner with a community in town or a community organization that is already living out their mission, then we want to partner with them so that, again, we're not doing the double work.
Now, are you doing anything in preparing the students for employment?
Yes. So one of the things that we realized, I want to say back in July, so not too long ago, was we have a lot of 17-year-olds, and a few of them have come to us and said that they can't afford a $20 membership when they turn 18. What do? And we have partnered with Chick-fil-A. They have come in and they have facilitated mock interviews to really help the kids understand this is a resume, this is the interview process, this is what to expect, how do you dress, what questions do you ask, what is the follow-up. We're also working on partnering with a few of the trade unions to possibly get some of our kids into their apprenticeship program, maybe those that have their GEDs and they're not quite sure what to do next. So after seeing how many of our kids kind of fall into that 17-year-old, they're not quite sure what they're going to do, we saw that need, and one of our core values is to see a need and meet the need. And so,
Well, there's a great need for people in trades. A lot of people are going to college and they want to, they don't think about mechanic work or electrician or plumbers or welders. And what is really needed today, and there's many jobs, and you don't have to have a college education. You can learn a trade. And you can learn a trade by going to, like, our community college, Delta Community College. They have the trades programs there. And you could, a young man or a young woman, you know, I used to work for an organization, it's a federal organization that trained adults in different skills. And they were trade skills.
oh,
I even learned how to weld, so when I went out to look for jobs, I could tell
that's not a bad
what kind
skill.
of welding they needed. You know, was it TIG welding or what kind of welding exactly? And so I could tell what was good welding, bad welding, and so forth. And so I did a whole lot of employment placement myself, so I know how important that is. And so many of our young people are not going to go to college, and they don't know what direction to really go to by not going to college. So I think what you're doing is absolutely wonderful, and teaching them about the trades and where they can get the training, and like working with the different unions, like the AAA union, electrician union, plumbers union, so forth and so on, and a welding union. The jobs are wonderful. They pay a lot of money, good benefits. So some kids, I think, they get so discouraged thinking about college, and they probably don't have, some of them do not have a family that can afford to pay their whole tuition. And then trying to get a scholarship, that's competitive, but it can happen. And they can go on to school, even at Delta College.
Yeah.
Now, I went to Delta College.
Me too.
And that's when I was studying law enforcement. And I actually got two scholarships this one year, paid for all my books. So, and that was quite a long time ago, when I was in law enforcement back in the 70s. But, you know, I took a few classes that gave me the information. I was able to be hired.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to go to college to be successful. A lot of these young people who have the knowledge of the computers and learning programming and so forth, companies like Microsoft and Apple, they're looking for young people with young ideas and visions, like your program, to come to work for them. And they don't need a college education. They just need the skill. So what you're doing is absolutely wonderful, because I'm sure a lot of the youth feel that they'll never go to college and what to do.
Yeah.
And teaching them how to look for a job, resumes, et cetera, is the best thing in the world.
Yeah. It is. It is. And it's something that they want to know. That's certainly one of the things that I have to say I think surprises us, because at first we weren't quite sure how many kids would come. I know last week alone we had 800. Just last week.
Last week, 800
week.
Students came through your program?
Through the center. So we don't, our programming, of course, we don't force any kids. We always encourage. But whether it's to participate in our basketball league, whether it is to just come because they don't have anywhere else to go, whether it's to come to group, whether it's just come and play and make new friends, or to go on a field trip. It's really just a way, it gives our youth in the community something to do.
I think that's
wonderful. That's why we're there. We're there because there's really not a whole lot for them to do and get involved, and eventually our programming will baby steps at this point, of course, because we're still so new, but our goal is to get our youth back in the community and getting them back involved so they can volunteer and help out with projects that are important to them, because this is their community. Some of them have never been outside their neighborhood, and so we want to teach them to not only give back, but to be a member of the community, because they're our next workforce. They're the next generation.
Right.
So if we can at least instill, the City Center has 5 core values. So if we can instill any one of those core values into the kids.
Okay, what are the core values?
So our first one is excellence is a must, quitting is an optional. Our second one is character counts. We see the need and we meet the need. Our passion has action, and through all of that, we raise the standard. And so we, in our group, our kids recite those core values. They get to talk about what each of them means to, or each core value means to them. And in turn, it sparks conversation, but it's something that we always remind the kids, if they see something, to say something. What you do when someone isn't looking is very important. And in turn, the gaming area, we say, is clean. The kids clean up after themselves. They really do respect the facility. Again, if you can give them something to cherish and something to be proud that they're a part of, I think in turn you see a different result and a different attitude from them, and that's what we're seeing.
That is absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely. And what are some of the things that the students actually are talking about that they bring up in about their lives, or not mentioning names or anything, but some of the issues that they're having a difficult time with?
So it really depends on what's happening throughout the country, throughout the community. I know when we've seen some school shootings, and so the kids, they'll talk about that. We have had a couple kids in our community commit suicide, and the kids have talked about that. They have talked about anything from abuse to neglect to school to why they don't understand why there is a subject that they have to take. And really, the conversations, we don't start a group anticipating any one of those conversations. We certainly have.
So how do they get started?
They'll start talking one day about how their day went. Someone might say, "Yeah, my high was that I'm here today because my life has been rough, and my low is this." And from that, it just kind of snowballs into a conversation, and the kids respect each other. They, they're teenagers, so every now and then they get a little rowdy. But when they get into those deep conversations, for the most part, they're really good at listening to what somebody has to say, and I truly think it's because they find that they're not alone. They can hear out what their peer is saying, and some might understand exactly what they're going through. So we've created this safe space for them to be able to communicate and talk, and in turn, we do have someone on site who is a case manager should any conversation take a turn that needs to be addressed further. But for the most part, it's a testament to the kids that want to be there. They could be doing, so many other things, but they're choosing to go to the City Center, and they're choosing to be a part of programs like this or ask for help because they know that they need a job or go to school. Or
So they're learning about the Vision program through word of mouth.
Correct.
From other students.
We really haven't advertised that kids are essentially free. They're sponsored memberships because we have so many of them. We have nearly 1,800, and we don't have the staff just yet to support that. So we have let it just kind of stay word of mouth, but we're seeing about 100 new kids each month signing up.
Oh my gosh.
Again, and that's without any promotion. So really our biggest need right now is the community support.
So now when they turn 18, there's a lot of situations when youth turn 18. I know when they're in like foster homes or safe homes, when they turn 18, they're let go. And whether they got a place to go or not. I used to work with what is called WorkNet now here in I guess it's everywhere because it's a federal program. And I worked with summer youth employment. And I had students that while they were on the program and still in high school, they were living in a foster home. And they turned 18, and so they no longer were being supported by community services. And they had to leave. And it was really very, very, very hard situation to deal with. And so I understand what you're talking about with having the needs and teaching these students to be able to express themselves like you're doing. I think it's just an absolutely wonderful program. Now, how would we get in touch with you? People out there, if you are interested in helping with this wonderful, wonderful program, Heather, please tell us how we can get in touch with you.
The easiest way is to go on our website. So that's lordsgymcitycenter.org. And from our website, you can see how to become a member. We do have a full state-of-the-art gym. Memberships are only $20 a month. There's no fees or contracts. And that's a great way for adults to get involved because our memberships really help sustain the building and the fitness operations so that every dollar we raise can benefit our youth programming.
Now, Lord's Gym is on the corner of Hammer Lane and
Tam O'Shanter.
Here in Stockton.
Yes.
And it like it used to be a sports sports store. It's very large. And I think many of you out there that are from this area of Stockton, California will know where it's at. Corner of Hammer Lane and Tam O'Shanter. And it's called Lord's Gym.
City Center.
City Center.
Correct.
And is that outside just like that, Lord's Gym? City?
It's on, we have it on two sides of the building, so you can see it coming down Hammer Lane, and you can see it on Tam O'Shanter as well.
Right.
Yes.
Very easy to find.
Yes. Yes. So
here in Stockton.
If you go on our website, you can not only see the memberships, but you can see a little bit more about our programming, how to become a Power Partner and volunteer your time, and of course, how you can give, because all of our youth are sponsored. So we need members of the community to be willing to sponsor youth's membership so that they can continue to stay there.
So the website is
www.lordsgymcitycenter@.org. Yes.
Very easy to find.
Yes. Yes. And you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And we post stories, success stories, anything that's inspiring.
Well, I'll tell you, your program is a perfect program for Lions. Because one of the things internationally that our international president wants us to do is to work with the youth in our community. And this is a great opportunity to come and meet Heather. She's wonderful. I understand you're getting married in a few days.
In a few days.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm excited.
Congratulations
Thank you.
to you. And she's doing an excellent job. When I went to Lord's Gym and she gave us a tour and told us about the program, I said, "You have got to come on my program. You need to talk to the Lions out there because they would be excellent to come and volunteer."
Yes,
we have
we love
Lions from all different kinds of backgrounds and skills and work and so forth. So I'm sure you might be hearing from us.
Yes, well, we would love that.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you too. I mean, this is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful program. I hope that some of you will get in touch with Heather. Go to the website. Again, that is Lord's Gym City Center. All one, okay? .org. And then you can get in touch with Heather and find out more about the program. And it's an excellent program for Lions to participate in. Now, you said you're having a Christmas dinner and
we are.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Are you accepting any donations for that?
We need help cooking the food for Thanksgiving. That's one of our biggest needs right now. We're partnering with a food bank to get the food, but we need it cooked.
Okay.
So anything from frying the turkeys to mashed potatoes, green
frying
beans.
the turkeys. You bake turkeys.
Oh, baking and frying. The kids have never had fried turkeys.
Oh, really?
No.
You've got the ability to do fried.
We have some space in the back of our building, and so that we're gonna try it.
Oh my gosh!
But
how exciting!
The sweet potatoes, the marshmallows, the Brussels sprouts, and the bacon. We just need help cooking the food because we are going to, like I said, have the girls help set the table.
What are the dates?
November 15th.
November 15th.
Yes.
I'll have to keep reminding people of that.
Thursday, November 15th. My email is on the website. They can email me if they're interested in cooking. I can meet with them and explain what it is we're trying to do, but we are working on getting the food. We just need help cooking it.
And at what time?
It is at 5:30.
What about the cooking time?
We're starting cooking as early as we need to. We're hoping probably around noon so that we have plenty of time and it's still warm for the kids.
Right. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll have to keep reminding people about this. That's Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving.
And then what about your Christmas?
So our Christmas party will take place in December, and we are really trying to collect gift cards and age-appropriate gifts for our 13 to 17-year-olds so that every kid can leave with a gift that night. They'll do a gift exchange. We'll encourage the kids to bring a gift to be a part of the exchange, but we understand that some might not be able to. So
are you asking for donations of gifts? Okay.
And gift cards seem to be the easiest right now because the kids can go and purchase whatever it is they're looking for. So a gift card drive instead of cash or toy seems to be great for the age group.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, and that's going to be, do you know what date that is?
That is December 18th.
December 18th.
Yes.
And that's a dinner, too. You probably need people to help cook that, too?
So that one's going to be more of like a open party. We'll have a dessert table and we'll have some finger foods.
Okay.
What we're doing that night, our leadership council is also throwing an open house so they can invite their friends and their family and they can explain what it means to be a part of the leadership council. They'll be able to say a little bit about themselves, encourage others to be a part of programming.
So it'll be an open house too. Okay,
yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes, so that one is going to be open to all members, to all youth. The Thanksgiving dinner, we are feeding 100 teens.
Fantastic. And what time is your December open house?
It's going to be from 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Okay.
Yes.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Well, if any of you out there would like to participate with this wonderful, wonderful program, I ask you to get in touch with Heather. Go to the website. Again, that is Lord's Gym
City Center.
citycenter.org.
Yes.
Okay, LordsGymCityCenter.org.
Correct.
Okay, wonderful.
Well, thank you
so much for
Of course.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm sure you're going to get some volunteers.
Yes, we love that.
That's wonderful.
We can't do it without our power partners.
No.
They're our backbone.
Well, that's excellent. And I want to thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank you out there for being with us today. And remember, we'll be here next Monday at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3. That's Lions We Serve Live. And We Serve, Heather, is our international motto, is We Serve. And that's what we do in our communities. So until next week, I want to say thank you for being with us and have a wonderful week. Bye now.